welcome back to the channel. This is the video you guys all been waiting, well, a couple of you guys been waiting for. This is my 98 C3500 dually. Originally it was a 454 big block 480 truck. I had it lowered. Well, originally I bought it stock height. At one point it was lowered in its life. Like it used to have big old West Coast mirrors on it and all kinds of shit. It was definitely probably a pretty good looking truck in the early 2000s. It had the bug shield on it, everything was paint matched. I mean, it was probably a really good looking truck. I wish I could find who originally had it, but I haven't really looked into it. And then I think it was originally from Southern Illinois, farther Southern Illinois than I am, but pretty much that's it. I bought it stock height, put a 5.8 drop on it, was towing the Blazer down in Branson for Lifted Truck Nationals in 2021. And I guess at some point the rear end decided it didn't want to be part of the truck anymore. And the rear pinion, you can move it in and out about an inch each way. So I had already bought the 24 valve 5-speed with the original intentions of putting it in my old 4-door Tahoe, but I ended up buying this because I ended up selling my single cab. And then I was looking for a 2-wheel drive transmission, trying to find a 6-speed, and couldn't really find one. I'm like, you know what, screw it, let's just put all the Dodge shit underneath it. Like, I had the whole truck, like, why not just do it? It was even a dually, so, I mean, that's what happened. But here it is, and hope you guys like it. So, here is the truck. All pretty and shiny, kinda. It's fucking white. It's GM white. It's peeling. Paint looks horrible, but it's part of it. Got a nice beat up cowl hood that I got for free. Don't care about that. But oh, come on, focus. Maybe, okay. It is a Dana 60 out of the 99 Dodge. Actually, it's a 2000 Dodge, sorry. With coils. Let me see here. Got Heim steering on it. It's all rusty right now. I mean, I live in the salt states and I gotta finish notching the frame for the steering to clear because it's really tight in here. Custom track bar mounts, custom steering. I ended up having to cut the factory track bar mount off and build this one. So far, it's been doing good. That's one thing that sucks about these front axles is that CAD shit. I'm doing this for the dual shocks. There we go. That way I can have dual shocks with the reservoir. I don't know, I kind of like the way that looks. So I thought it'd be different. I haven't really seen a whole lot of these with it. And I didn't want to do the factory shock going through the spring because I just didn't really like the way that looked. But it's got 2-inch TOM, radius arm setup, 1.5-inch top. Most of that mounts are rough stuff. Some of it's Barnes. Most of the Heims are all Barnes. Got the Euro mounts from Barnes 4-wheel drive. Really like those. We'll be using them again. Ride a lot better too. The truck's got this giant dent in it. I'd love to know how that got there. And I also forgot the washer right there. Oops. But yeah, it's in the fender, it's in the door, it's in the cab. So I gotta replace that before I put the amp steps on. Or it's gonna look a little funny. It's gonna have a giant freaking dent. Typical, you know, GM stuff. I think the doors have been repainted because I think that's where one of the fender bolts was, that's where another one was, that's where another one was, and the video's gonna stop because the heater's coming on. Be right back. I just turned the heater off. It's got 2015 tow mirrors, I think that's what year those are, and the newer ones, yeah, that fit. So that door's been repainted, I think, because it's got all the holes in it. I think there's one right there, one right there, one right there. Maybe just there and there, I don't know. It's on both sides. Originally, I just figured maybe it was shot at. It is a Silverado, even though it's got a GMC front end on it. Got the Nissan Titan back window. And this bed is just beautiful. I guess somebody decided it'd be a good idea to paint it over with the flares hooked up or on. And yeah, it's all cracked and stuff, but it's whatever. It's a dually bed. I'm hoping to find another one or maybe build a flatbed. I haven't decided. Got 22 by 8.5 Cali Summits in the rear with 35 1250 Haidas. I was a little skeptical on the tire at first because it's not an aggressive looking tire, but I like it. 22 by 12 in the front. Airdog 150. Old APC clear taillights. I think these are gonna go in the Blazer, and the Blazer ones are gonna go in here. Aftermarket rear bumper. I wanted the factory work truck bumper with the individual pads, but I couldn't find one. Got some air horn blasters, train horns under here that do not work right now because the compressor is blown up again. Kind of annoying, but I've rebuilt it once. I'm just gonna buy a new one now. It also used to run my airbag, so that's actually probably a good reason it blew up. Got 7 and I think just 7-inch PMF rear blocks. I think they're PMF. That's my custom plate. Shaved tailgate handle. Looks really good, except for, I guess, whenever they did it, they didn't like the body line, so the body line's kind of not there, and tailgate's beat to hell. So eventually I'm gonna find another one, and I'll probably redo that again, because I like it. Custom tip that my dad makes. Sounds pretty good, looks pretty good. It got the right amount of poke, in my opinion. It kind of follows the in-between of there. I don't know, I like it. A lot of people don't, but the factory marker lights, I just put a 1/8-inch pinstripe on and then painted over them white. Probably gonna paint them a couple more times white and not pinstripe it this time. Give it a little bit more of a smoked effect. Because nobody makes clear ones for this. And there's the heater again. It'll stop in a second. Beautiful crack right there. And it needs a bed bad. Okay, I need to replace the rock cab corners eventually. Got some super long rear traction bars. They do a great job. They're 2-inch and then sleeved, 1.5 inches. Hopefully they don't break during the tractor pulls this year. If they do, well, I guess we'll be rebuilding them. But that's about it for the outside. Clear corner marker lights, GMC grill, obviously. Spider headlights. Anzo marker lights, I think. The interior is super dirty right now. It's winter, and I just don't really care right now. It's got a 60/40 split in the front with the 2015 front console. It's got all the chargers in there. Flips up, works just as it should. NV4500. Giant radio from Kenwood. I'll turn it on real quick, but it's gonna want to connect to my phone. But yeah, that's pretty much that. Red gauge cluster. Found the factory, I think these are out of like the police. This would be a DRL switch that went right here. So I put my cargo light switch and my rock lights up to it. My dome lights don't work right now because I think my keyless entry system's going out. Got a black suede headliner. Needs cleaned really bad. But did that last year. Put the upper console in there because for some reason I didn't have one. Had like everything else but upper console. Obviously these don't have airbags. My heater control is in the glove box. I gotta make a bracket for that yet. But it's in there and it ain't going anywhere. Obviously, you know, it's a manual. Needed door panels. And same with the rear seat. Got the newer console, flips up, no problem. Nothing too crazy back here. Did all the kill mat. Did that in the back and the roof. Helped out so much. I'm ready to get, plan is to put black carpet in and then do the whole floor in that. And then I might pull the firewall and do the firewall because the Cummins isn't super loud, but it is loud enough. You hear it a lot. I guess I'll show you guys the engine bay. Small things that need to be fixed. This isn't my focus. Just a daily driver with a 24 valve in it. She ain't much of a looker right now. Let me turn the phone sideways real quick. Stock turbo, I think it's an HX35. I don't remember. Just stock 24 valve. It's got 100 over injectors, 0.093 crossover tubes, and then the intake right now in grid heater delete. Eventually it's going to get a bigger turbo. I haven't decided what I want to do yet on that. And then it's going to get a Quadzilla iQuad probably relatively soon because it's going to be needed. But got the dual batteries, custom battery cables, LS alternator. I need to build. Apparently these zip ties don't work very well, so I'm going to go get some 1-inch aluminum strips and actually secure that. They never come on anyways, so it's not like they're super important until it gets hot out. Yeah, LS alternator. Custom first gen downpipe. We cut the flange off. Now the front fan, the top of it's factory, the back of it's cut off. heat wrapped, and then I had to cut the bottom side all apart and make it. I had to turn a certain way because it's like, yeah, like that. I had to go down and back up. It is a literal 4-inch straight pipe exhaust. It doesn't have a bend in it till it goes over the axle. Custom transmission cross member. It ain't going anywhere. That's 2-inch DOM, and then it's sitting on top of the frame with 1/4-inch plate, and yeah, all kinds of fancy stuff. No front drive shaft because I have to get it extended. It's like 2 foot longer than factory. It's like a foot longer than factory because the motor's so far pushed back over the front axle. It's pretty much that on this side. 2nd gen radiator, 2nd gen intercooler. I'm going to build a custom shroud this summer to go over it whenever the Blazer's out of the garage, and I can pull this thing in for a little bit, drive the Jeep or the other 2-door. I used a Amazon fuse box for the harness. There's the Dodge harness right there, cut off and ran into there. Super simple system. I did delete the factory Chevy PCM, and hasn't caused too many issues. Oh, that's nice. I guess I know. The thing decided to walk out. Couldn't get it out yesterday because it decided to come out when I was driving down the road. Neat. But yeah. So the only thing I don't have working right now is a speedometer, but that is because the factory, the Dodge T-Case doesn't have a speedometer hookup, so I have to figure that out. I was gonna do it on the rear end, but I ended up not doing. I can't get to crossover with the Dakota Digital. I need to do more research on it. I just haven't messed with it. All right, we're gonna wait a minute again. I just shut off. I turned it off. It's annoying. It's nice while we're working because, you know, it puts off heat and stuff, but annoying when you're trying to record. All right. So since it's a 2-wheel drive, there's like no motor mounts out here for this thing. So we just set the motor in there, and I had a set LS Dirty Dingo mounts laying around and put them in there, and they were like, that motor mount loose? Motor mount maybe loose. All right, we're gonna tighten that up after this. Neat. What? And they always say that Cummins will find all the loose bolts. For the rear window switch, I didn't want the switch to be obvious. This window works like normal, that window works like normal, and this switch does both back windows together. They do work independent of each other from the rear. From the back seats, they work like normal. And then this switch does that back window. That way I have no extra switches, and it's just one. I think I ran like 2 extra wires, 3 extra wires, maybe 4, probably 4, but yeah, that's it on that. I accidentally did the outro before. I just remembered to show you guys the lights, but here you go. So it's gonna be a little confusing. That's all red, and I did the door handle lights, all 4. There's the marker lights, front lights, all that stuff. All the cab lights are white. I really like how these turned out, so I just want to put one more smoke on. And I forgot to show you guys these. Did 3 red rock lights on top, like the factory DOT would be. Eventually I want to put a white one there and a white one there. And then also hook that up to reverse lights, so then I have like 4 white lights. I guess we're gonna twitch today. Never done that before. Must have been wet. Yeah, that's pretty much it on the lights. I think there's like 10 or so rock lights on this thing right now. I think I have like 26 or something for it. I don't remember. That one back light is really twitching. Pretty much it on the dually. If there's anything you guys want me to focus on more of, show a little bit more of how I did something, let me know, and we can do a video on it. And hope you guys like the video. Like, comment, subscribe, show it to your friends. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not doing this to get rich.